Hi, I'm Jim Bergen, pastor at Holy Cross Lutheran Church, and this is the sermon for the fourth Sunday in Lent, which happens on the 30th of March this year. It's about the prodigal father, Luke 15, 11 to 32. The Sunday school lesson was about the prodigal son. At Sunday dinner, Mom and Dad asked Junior, tell him the story. Junior said, they called him the periodical son because he only came around when he wanted money. He spent half his money on wine, women, and song, and then he wasted the rest. Here's some questions for you. How many of you are the firstborn, the eldest child in your family? Now, how many of you were the baby? Think about it. Now, from the first group, how many of you thought the baby got away with stuff you never could have? And now, from the second group, how many of you wish I had a great question for you like the first group? You see, that sibling competition is always there. One of the most common sentences that I ever hear at funerals and memorial services are spoken by the children of the deceased person. I was Mama's or Papa's favorite child. It's almost always a family in joke, with a few feelings tossed in, recognizing our natural desire to want to be the favored one. Today's gospel from Luke is very familiar, always called the parable of the prodigal son. Why does that little immature twerp always get top billing? Really, I'd like to know. The whole story is made up of three parables about three parties: the parable of the younger son, the parable of the older son, and the parable of the loving prodigal father. The younger son throws his own wildly intemperate party even in another land. The elder son never thought of a party until he saw little brother go off the rails. And the father throws a huge, lavish party of homecoming and reconciliation, hoping that everyone in the family and in the village community will enjoy and remember forever. Each child knows their parents, sees and understands their parents in a different way. In our family, over time, there was a year when three of our most beloved dogs died. And our grief at the loss was so painful that we decided to avoid it in the future by not inviting dogs into our home. But both boys still wanted a dog. Shane, the eldest, understood the rationale for not getting one: the financial costs, the time expenditure, the cleanup duties, space needed for exercise and time, the emotional investment, and the lifelong commitment to another precious but dependent being, and the possibility of parental disapproval. Josh didn't care about any of those great reasons. He drove 30 miles to a puppy mill breeder, brought home a beautiful baby German Shepherd named Charlie. Shane was appalled, aghast. He said, Joshua, why did you do that? Mom and Dad said, no, they won't let you keep him. Josh said, oh, yeah, they will. They'll see Charlie and fall in love. If you want a dog, go get one. It'll be okay. That little brother gets by with everything. Our triple parable is replete with interpersonal tension. During this time, when a father died, the estate was settled by the oldest son, Junior, okay? And he gets 2/3 of the estate, and then the other third is split by the other siblings. Two sons, a 2/3, 1/3 split. In this case, the youngest, Sonny, asked for his third before the death of his father. There's a bold assertion of the fact that, at least at the time, the boy would rather have the father's stuff than the father himself. The word for property being split is bios. Father's asked to split his life: land, livestock, produce, everything. Kind of like a reverse mortgage. The estate is settled before anyone dies. Dad no longer has anything. He can stick around as long as he's alive as a dependent. A third of his life is going to run away and see the world. Two-thirds of his life is going to stay home with him and assume ownership of the remaining property in the person of the responsible eldest son, Junior. The youngest one liquidates his third, skips town. Sharp break with the father, the brother, and actually the whole community. In some communities, punishable by death. Village hostility would be substantial. The loss of property, the loss of face, the loss of social standing would reflect on the whole community. The elder brother, Junior, could have stepped in to help his father save face, but he didn't. After all, and I hate to mention this, but now he's in control of two-thirds of the family fortune. And conveniently, it wasn't even his idea. Plausible deniability. Putting it off on, Sonny the twerp. His father trusts him with that. Many fathers would not. Village families would worry that perhaps their own children might get similar kinds of ideas. Meanwhile, young Sonny, hanging out with the pagans, has fallen into hard times. The money ran out. He's got a temp job feeding pigs. The pig gig is as low as you can get in the eyes of Jewish law. He should go home immediately and appeal to his brother for help, because his father technically has nothing to give. The boys took it all, remember? But Sonny decides to go to his father and asks to be his part-time slave, a hired hand, a seasonal employee living on the edge of starvation. He prepares his beggar's speech and rehearses it while walking home. Father sees him coming, runs to intercept him before he enters the village. Sonny is in immediate danger from hostile villagers. Of course, Dad's running to welcome the child, but mostly he's getting there first to preempt a hostile village reaction. He signals to everyone with a kiss and an embrace that this boy is still under his protection. This boy is not to be rejected despite what he's done. He repented, he returned. The father has taken the full shame that should have fallen on this son. Certainly, we trust the father will punish him appropriately. He'll get his. Like with the best robe, a signet ring which pressed into wax on a legal document is like a credit card. New sandals, and a party with everyone there and a fatted calf on the menu. Cooked meat will spoil. It's not eaten soon, so the whole calf represents a large gathering. The whole village invited. And if they show up, they signal their acceptance of the father's wish to bring Sonny back into the home and into the village. Balance has been restored. Joy, music, and dancing commence, along with relief at the reconciliation of father and Sonny. But wait, Junior is mad. He comes in from a hard day's work. He hears music and fun and celebration. Who authorized this? What's going on? And why wasn't he told? He's the boss. Where did the robe, the ring, the new shoes, and the fatted calf come from? His own hard-earned, sweat-stained assets that were a gift, an early inheritance. Junior, a model of propriety whom the village has always respected, is suddenly and uncharacteristically insulting his father and refusing to enter the house or the party. He doesn't even use the title father. He doesn't acknowledge the fact that Sonny's his brother. His father's begging him to love his brother. He disdainfully calls his brother your son. To the old man, with his refusal to join the party, once again, the villagers are insulted. But this time, the hurt comes from Junior, the good boy. The father loves both Junior, the good boy, and Sonny, the bad boy. Relative terms. Both have tried to throw their own parties on their own terms, and it just didn't work out very well for either one of them. The father's party includes all of his children. He comes out to welcome us to the party, whether we come from the far country or the near fields. In some sense, for a time, he lost both children. He seeks, receives, forgives, and celebrates all his children. The greeting is always the same. Welcome home, child of God. Let the party begin. Amen.